Are you struggling with ulcerative colitis or leaky gut and thinking maybe the carnivore diet just might be your answer? Well, before you jump in, there are 5 critical things that you must know. And in this episode, I'll uncover the surprising benefits, the hidden risks, and the real impact that this controversial diet could have on not only your gut health, but your overall health. So whether you're desperately seeking relief or you're just curious, you don't want to miss these essential insights that could change the way you approach your symptoms and your overall gut health. So stay tuned. This could be the game changer you've been waiting for. Hey there, busy entrepreneurs. I'm Wendy Handy, and you're tuned in to Gut Fix. It's your ultimate guide to conquering IBD, fatigue, chronic stress, and reclaiming your vitality. Get ready to unlock a treasure trove of insights from diet hacks to stress relief strategies and dive deep into the fascinating world of how hormones affect your gut health. It's all about decoding the messages your body sends, so you can bid farewell to IBD and digestive issues for good. So, take a breather from the hustle and bustle. Let's give your gut a high five, and together, let's embark on this transformative journey. Are you ready? Let's dive into today's episode. Are you a woman over 40, feeling drained, overwhelmed, and frustrated with digestive issues, fatigue, chronic stress, or even full-blown IBD? Well, it's time to reclaim your health and start feeling like yourself again. When you sign up for a free discovery call, we'll dive into your unique health struggles, uncover the root causes of your symptoms, and explore how personalized protocols, functional labs, and lifestyle shifts can bring you lasting relief. And together, we'll create a clear, actionable plan to boost your energy, calm your gut, and help you thrive again. You've got nothing to lose, well, except those annoying symptoms. If you're ready to kick them to the curb and feel your best again, then visit my website, wendyhandy.com, and book your free call today. I'll also leave a link in the show notes. Let's get your health transformation started today. Welcome back to another episode of Gut Fix. I'm Wendy Handy, your host, and we're diving into the pretty controversial diet, the carnivore diet. And, not too long ago, I was visiting with a friend of mine, and she knows what I do for a living. So she was telling me how she had lost the weight and lost a bunch of weight, which, I could tell she had lost a lot of weight. And she was telling me how much energy she had and how much better she felt, and her gut issues were even cleared up. And she told me that her secret was the carnivore diet, and that it was the way that our ancestors ate, which, just so you know, that's not 100% true. Our ancestors ate that way when they were able to, catch and kill something to eat for dinner that night. But, she was very enthusiastic and kind of went on. And she asked me, after going on for about 5 minutes, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this? And quite honestly, at the time, I really didn't have an answer. I had heard of the carnivore diet, but I hadn't done any research on it. And I really didn't want to give a knee-jerk reaction without knowing the facts of what it really was. But, that conversation stuck with me, and it kind of sparked my curiosity. So being the good detective that I am, I started digging into all I could find about the carnivore diet. I was reading articles, listening to podcasts. I even posted a question on social media, and just to get other people's thoughts on it. And let me tell you, wow, it stirred up some controversy. The responses that I was getting were they were on complete opposite ends of the spectrum. There was on one side, there was people that absolutely swore by it, claiming that it had just completely saved their gut health as well as other things. And then on the other side were those that were adamant that it was, very dangerous and it lacked critical nutrients, and that it was overall just unsustainable. And so what I've learned since all of that is that, like most things in nutrition, it's not black or white. It's just not that clear. For some people, the carnivore diet has truly been a game changer, especially if they were able to, calm down their autoimmune conditions like IBD by helping to reduce the inflammation and simplify what they were eating. But there are some real concerns with it too. And like those nutrient deficiencies, and the long-term impact that it has on your gut microbiome. So, now I feel much more equipped to talk about it with both sides in mind. And while it's not ever a one-size-fits-all solution, there's definitely more to the carnivore diet than I initially realized. And the key for you is to make a very informed decision based on what you know and based on your unique needs. And for some people, it can be a very powerful tool. And for others, it can not be the best thing at all, right? So let's dive into the 5 things that you need to know about the carnivore diet. And I'm going to give you the benefits and the potential downsides. So the first thing you need to know is that you will eliminate potential triggers from the foods that you're eating. And the benefit of that is that the carnivore diet eliminates very common dietary triggers that can cause that inflammation, the gut irritation, especially for those that are dealing with IBD, ulcerative colitis, or leaky gut. And so by focusing solely on animal-based foods, the diet removes those compounds like your gluten, lectins, and phytic acid, which are found in grains, legumes, and processed foods. And so these compounds can irritate the gut lining. Most of the time they do, worsening the symptoms of your condition. And so by removing them, you may be reducing that inflammation and giving your gut the time that it needs to heal. So in addition to cutting out processed foods, which for me is you've got to do anyway, even if you're not suffering from leaky gut or IBD, it's just they're not good for you. It eliminates the refined sugars, the artificial additives that are in there, and the preservatives. And these are all things that can disrupt the microbiome and contribute to that inflammation. And as a sidebar note, in my opinion, that's why people who start the carnivore diet will lose weight, because they're getting off of those processed foods, right? Now, the downside is that it lacks fiber. So the major drawback of the carnivore diet, or one of the major drawbacks of the carnivore diet, is the absence of that fiber, which is primarily found in your plant-based foods like fruits, vegetables, and grains. And fiber plays a very key role in digestive health by promoting regular bowel movements and feeding your beneficial gut bacteria. And without fiber, you run the risk of constipation. And long term, that lack of fiber can also lead to dysbiosis in your gut or an imbalance in your gut bacteria, which can certainly worsen IBD or leaky gut symptoms. And then the second thing that you need to know about the carnivore diet is that it's very high in bioavailable nutrients. So the benefit of that is that animal-based foods are rich in bioavailable nutrients, meaning that the body can absorb and use them very efficiently. And something that's particularly important for individuals with compromised gut health is the fact that they need to be able to absorb those nutrients. And the carnivore diet provides a complete protein, so complete with all of your amino acids. They contain your B vitamins, your omega-3 fatty acids if you're eating grass-fed beefs, and minerals like heme iron and zinc, which the heme iron is more easily absorbed from the animal sources than it is from the plants. And these nutrients are essential for healing the gut and supporting your immune function, and of course reducing inflammation. Now, the downside is that while animal products are rich in certain nutrients, by excluding those fruits and vegetables and grains, that can lead to deficiencies in key vitamins and minerals like vitamin C, magnesium, and your antioxidants. And over time, the lack of variety can negatively impact your overall health and your immunity. And that is very important for those with IBD, ulcerative colitis, or leaky gut. And so without plant-based nutrients and fibers, the diet may fall short of fully supporting the long-term gut and immune health. Now, the third thing you need to know about the carnivore diet is that it does reduce inflammation. And so the benefit by removing those plant-based foods that contain the potentially irritating compounds like your lectins and oxalates, the carnivore diet can help reduce overall inflammation. And lectins can be found in grains and in legumes, and they can increase the intestinal permeability or leaky gut, while oxalates present in foods like spinach and almonds, which can contribute to inflammation. And actually, if you have too many oxalates, in some folks, it can even cause kidney stones. So many individuals with IBD report that eliminating these irritants actually reduces gut-specific inflammation, which of course can improve those symptoms like bloating, cramping, and diarrhea. Now, the downside is that there is a potential for saturated fat overload. And so while the carnivore diet may reduce inflammation in the gut, it can introduce an excess amount of saturated fats, which are associated with very high levels of LDL cholesterol, or the quote unquote bad cholesterol. That's a whole nother podcast about cholesterol, and that's controversial as well. But this can increase the risk of, heart disease and overall and systemic inflammation. And of course, that's particularly bothersome for those who already have inflammatory conditions like IBD. So over time, an imbalance of fats, especially with high intakes of your saturated fats, can exacerbate cardiovascular risk and your systemic inflammation, and that can counteract the benefits of the diet. And then the fourth thing that you need to know is that there is a potential improvement in your gut microbiome. So the benefit of that is that even though there's a lack of fiber, some individuals will report that there is an improvement in their gut health on the carnivore diet because you're eliminating those plant irritants that do trigger the inflammation and compromise the gut lining. And so that gives when you're on this diet, that gives the gut time to heal. And then nutrients like collagen and glutamine that are found in animal products can support, tissue repair, making the gut lining that much more resilient. And so this can create a very healthy environment in which beneficial gut bacteria actually thrive. And that will lead to fewer symptoms of dysbiosis or the imbalance of your gut bacteria. Now, the downside is that there's very limited long-term research. So while some people do experience short-term improvements in their gut health, there's very limited scientific research on the long-term effects of the carnivore diet. So for example, the lack of fiber could eventually reduce your gut microbiome diversity, which plays a very key role. As we know, since 70% of your immune system is found in your gut, it stands to reason that it plays a key role in the immune function and your overall health for that matter. And long-term resilience and reliance on all meat diets can lead to dysbiosis and nutrient deficiencies, and then other negative health outcomes that are still unclear because we don't have the data. It just hasn't been studied long enough. And then the fifth thing that you need to know about the carnivore diet is that it's a very simplified eating and it can give you symptom relief. So the benefit is that for people who do suffer from IBD, ulcerative colitis, or leaky gut, the simplicity of the carnivore diet can relieve digestive stress by eliminating very complex food choices. And so this reduction in decision-making can help calm the digestive system and reduce flares. The diet's focus on that very nutrient-dense, anti-inflammatory foods like your grass-fed meats and fatty fish can provide healthy support for your gut lining. So at the same time, it'll be reducing the inflammation that contributes to many of those IBD symptoms. Now, the downside to this is that it's hard to sustain and there are some social challenges. So because it's very highly restrictive, it makes it very difficult to maintain long term. I don't know about you, but I like to eat different things. I don't like to eat the same thing all the time. And that makes social gatherings and eating out and even traveling can become very challenging on this diet because it only permits animal-based foods. And so over time, the lack of variety and flexibility may lead to feelings of isolation or even diet fatigue. And, additionally, the stress of adhering to such a strict plan can also, just that stress alone, can also exacerbate symptoms of IBD. And we all know that stress is a known trigger for flare-ups. So those are the 5 things that you need to know about the carnivore diet, both good, the benefit, and both bad, the downsides. And it does offer several potential benefits for anybody who's managing IBD or leaky gut, including the elimination of the irritants, the simplified eating, and the very high bioavailable nutrients. However, it also comes with significant challenges, including the lack of fiber and the risk of nutrient deficiencies, and of course that long-term sustainability. And so whether or not the carnivore diet is right for you is going to depend on your unique needs, your unique goals, your unique body, and your lifestyle. And, if you're considering it, I strongly recommend that you consult your healthcare practitioner to monitor your nutrient levels as well as your overall well-being. And as with any diet, what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another. And it's very important that you take a very personalized approach to your health. So, thanks for tuning in. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the carnivore diet. Have you tried it? Are you curious? Are you going to give it a go? Be sure to share your experiences. And if you enjoyed this episode, I'd truly appreciate it if you would subscribe to the show and leave a review, because it does help more people to discover the podcast and benefit from its content. And so until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and most of all, stay healthy. Hey there, thanks for tuning in. I hope this episode provided you with some valuable insights and tips. If you learned something new, I'd truly appreciate it if you would leave me a review, subscribe, and share it with another entrepreneur that you think might find it valuable. Don't forget to shoot me a DM over on Instagram at @CoachWendyHandy. See you in the next episode, and until then, stay happy and stay healthy.